Have you ever tried to teach your puppy something and felt like he just doesn't get it? Or worse, he seems to ignore everything you say? If this has happened to you, don't worry. Teaching a puppy may seem difficult, but actually, there's a simple and effective way to do it. And today, I'm going to show you 8 steps that will transform your Shih Tzu into an obedient, well-behaved, and much happier dog. But attention! If you skip any of these steps, you might make the training much harder in the future. The problem is that many pet owners make mistakes without realizing it, and then complain that their dog isn't learning. But you won't fall into that trap. Now imagine this: a Shih Tzu who responds to his name, goes potty in the right place, follows commands, and understands what he can and cannot do. Sounds like a dream? Well, know that it's totally possible, and you'll learn the right path to get there. And there's more. The 8th step is the most important of all, but most people simply ignore it. And this makes all the difference in the puppy's behavior. So, stay with me until the end, because this secret can completely change the way your Shih Tzu learns. Oh, and before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any new videos with amazing tips to make your Shih Tzu happier and better behaved. Now, let's go straight to the first step, and get ready because you might be surprised by what you're going to discover. Create a command name. Have you ever called your puppy and he simply ignored you? This happens because he doesn't yet understand that sound, his name, means you're talking to him. But don't worry, teaching this is easier than it seems. First, let's choose the right name. Short names with strong sounds are the best for dogs. They pay more attention to words that have sounds like T, K, and P. That's why names like Toby, Pingo, or Kiko are easier for the puppy to recognize. If the name is too long, he might get confused. Now that you've picked the perfect name, it's time to teach your Shih Tzu that this name means something good. And how do we do that? With a simple trick: repetition plus reward. Start by calling the puppy's name in a cheerful and excited tone. At first, he may not understand, but as soon as he looks at you, make a big deal out of it. Give him a treat, pet him, or praise him with something like, "Well done, Kiko." This helps him associate the name with something positive. Repeat this training several times a day, always at different moments. For example, call his name when he's distracted, when it's time to feed him, or when you want to play. This way, he learns that every time he hears that sound, something good happens. And there's one very important detail: never use his name to scold him. If you shout "Toby, no" in an angry tone, he might become afraid of his own name and stop responding. So always keep the experience positive. With patience and repetition, in just a few days, your Shih Tzu will recognize his name and respond excitedly whenever you call him. The power of routine. Did you know that dogs learn by repetition? This means that the more predictable your Shih Tzu's daily life is, the faster he learns and adapts to the house rules. Having set times for eating, playing, and sleeping is essential for him to feel safe and confident, preventing anxious behaviors and making training easier. Imagine how confusing it would be if every day you had to guess when you would eat or sleep. For dogs, this predictability makes all the difference because it helps their brains understand what to expect and when to expect it. If your puppy always eats at the same time, his body adjusts to this routine, and he won't keep asking for food all the time. Also, knowing the right time to eat helps organize potty times, making the learning process much faster. Over time, he will start looking for the mat or the right place to relieve himself because his body is already used to that routine. Playtime moments should also follow a pattern. Puppies have plenty of energy and need to expend it in a healthy way. If they don't play enough, they may end up chewing on furniture, destroying objects, or barking non-stop. Setting a specific time for play and walks helps keep the puppy calmer and prevents him from getting bored or anxious. Another important point is rest time. Just like babies, puppies need plenty of sleep to grow healthy. If he sleeps at the same times every day, his sleep will be more peaceful, and he won't be agitated during the night. Having a well-defined routine helps your Shih Tzu feel more balanced and happy. Over time, he will learn commands more easily and become a more obedient dog. So, start organizing your puppy's schedule now and see how everything becomes easier and more harmonious at home. Instant reward. Did you know that dogs learn much faster when rewarded at the right time? This is the secret of instant rewards. When your Shih Tzu does something right, he needs to know immediately that he got it right. If you take too long to praise or give a treat, he may not understand the reason for the reward and might confuse the learning process. The trick is to act quickly. As soon as he follows a command, goes potty in the right place, or shows good behavior, reward him right away. It could be a tasty treat, some petting, or even a cheerful compliment like "well done." Puppies have short memories, so if you wait more than a few seconds to reward, he may not associate what he did with what he's getting. For example, if you ask him to sit and only give the treat a minute later, he might think he's being rewarded for standing up, walking, or any other action he did in between. This can confuse the learning process and delay training progress. Another important detail is always using a happy and cheerful tone when he gets it right. Dogs understand our energy and respond better when they perceive that they've done something that made their owner happy. If the reward is consistent and immediate, your Shih Tzu will learn much faster and repeat the positive behavior because he knows something good happens afterward. And there's more. Never reward without a reason. If the puppy gets treats all the time without doing anything specific, he may lose interest in training or think he'll be rewarded for any behavior. Use rewards the right way, and watch how his learning accelerates. With patience and positive reinforcement at the right time, your Shih Tzu will become a well-behaved, happy dog and much more connected with you. Dogs learn by association, which is why teaching a Shih Tzu puppy to potty in the right place requires patience, repetition, and consistency. At first, he doesn't know where he should go, so it's up to you to show him the right way. The first thing you need to do is set a specific place for his potty needs. It could be a pee pad, a newspaper, or even a corner in the yard. The important thing is that this place is always the same because dogs form habits from repetition. Now comes the most important part, taking the puppy to this spot at the right times. Every time he wakes up, after eating, after playtime, and before bed, take him to the chosen pad or area. Stay with him there for a few moments, and if he goes potty in the right place, celebrate. Say "well done," give him some affection, or reward him with a treat. This positive reinforcement teaches the puppy that going potty in that spot brings good things, and that's why he'll repeat the behavior. If he makes a mistake and goes in the wrong place, never scold or yell. This could make him anxious and afraid to relieve himself in front of you, which would make the training even harder. Instead, clean the area without giving attention to the mistake and keep reinforcing the correct behavior with rewards. A good tip is to use a special product to remove the urine smell because if the puppy smells it in the same place, he might want to go there again. With patience and repetition, the Shih Tzu will begin to understand where to go potty. Some will learn quickly, others may take more time, but the secret is always sticking to the routine and never giving up. Remember, he's still a baby and learning to live in the human world. With care and dedication, he'll soon be going to the right spot by himself, and you'll have a much more well-behaved and happy dog. From the very first moment, your Shih Tzu puppy is discovering the world around him, and this learning phase is crucial for him to grow up confident and balanced. Socialization is the process of introducing different people, animals, sounds, and environments to your puppy so that he gets used to all of this in a positive way. When a puppy is not well socialized, he can become a fearful, insecure, or even aggressive dog in the future. So, the sooner you start, the better. The first step is to introduce your Shih Tzu to new experiences in a calm and pleasant way. Let him meet different family members, friends, and even children, always respecting his pace and ensuring that each interaction is positive. If he shows fear or hesitation, don't force it. Instead, encourage him with gentle words, affection, or treats so that he associates these moments with something good. Taking the puppy for short walks is also part of this process. Even if he can't walk on the street yet before getting all his vaccinations, you can carry him in your arms so he gets used to the movement of the streets, car noises, and the presence of other people and animals. After the vet clears him for walks, start with short and calm walks, always observing his reactions. Another important point is to get him used to different sounds, such as the sound of a blow dryer, TV, thunder, and fireworks. You can do this by playing these sounds at a low volume and gradually increasing it, always associating the sound with positive moments, like playtime or treats. If your puppy interacts with other dogs, always choose gentle and vaccinated animals. Healthy play with other dogs helps him learn canine communication and prevents behavioral issues in the future. With gradual exposure, your Shih Tzu will learn that the world is not scary. The more positive experiences he has in puppyhood, the more social and happy he'll be when he grows up. So, take advantage of this phase to introduce the world to your puppy with love and security. Teach the no command the right way. Teaching the no command to your Shih Tzu puppy is essential for him to understand what is allowed and what is not. But for him to truly learn, you need to use this command correctly, without shouting or severe punishments. Dogs don't understand words the way humans do, but they associate sounds with tone of voice and the consequences that follow. So when you say no, use a firm tone, but without anger, so the puppy knows that what he's doing is not allowed. The key to learning is timing. If you say no long after he's done something wrong, he won't understand the reason and might get confused. The command should be immediate. For example, if he starts chewing on a piece of furniture or picking up something he shouldn't, say no right away, and then immediately redirect his attention to an appropriate toy. If he chews on the toy instead of the furniture, praise him and reward him with affection or a treat. This way, he learns what he should not do and what is allowed. Avoid using no for everything, as if he hears that word all the time, he might end up ignoring it. Use the command only when it's truly necessary, when he's doing something wrong. Also, never associate no with physical punishments or punishments, as this can create fear and anxiety, making training more difficult. Another important tip is to be consistent. If one day you prohibit something and the next you let it slide, the puppy won't understand the rule. The whole family should follow the same guidelines to avoid confusion in the puppy's learning process. With patience, your Shih Tzu will quickly learn the meaning of no and understand the boundaries within the house. This will help build a harmonious relationship where he knows what he can or cannot do without fear, only with respect and trust in you as the owner. Remember, your puppy is learning about the world right now, so be firm, but also gentle, and he will grow up obedient and happy by your side. Teach the sit command. Teaching the sit command to your Shih Tzu puppy is one of the simplest and most effective ways to establish discipline from an early age. This command not only helps control behavior but also makes everyday moments much easier, such as feeding time, putting on the leash for walks, or even preventing him from jumping on visitors. The secret to teaching this trick is using patience, positive reinforcement, and making the learning process fun for the puppy. To begin, choose a calm moment when he is focused on you. Grab a treat that he really likes and hold it near his nose. Then, slowly move your hand upwards, causing him to lift his head a little to follow the movement. Naturally, he will end up sitting to maintain balance. As soon as his bottom touches the ground, say in an excited voice, "Sit," and give him the treat as a reward. Repeat this process several times, always associating the action of sitting with the word sit and the reward immediately after. If he doesn't sit on the first try, don't worry. Be patient and try again, remembering to never force him to sit, as the goal is for him to learn naturally and without fear. If he gets distracted, wait a bit and try again, always with positive energy. Once he begins to understand the command, try having him sit with just the word, without showing the treat. If he obeys, reward him with affection and praise. Over time, you can reduce food rewards, but always continue praising him to reinforce the behavior. Teaching the sit command helps your Shih Tzu develop discipline and obedience while strengthening the bond between you. This learning will be useful in many situations and make daily life calmer and more organized. With patience, consistency, and positive reinforcement, your puppy will quickly learn to sit whenever you ask, showing that training can be fun and full of love. Teaching the sit command to your Shih Tzu puppy is one of the easiest ways to start his education while creating discipline. This command is very useful for moments like mealtime, putting on the collar for walks, or preventing him from jumping on people. Additionally, when a dog learns to sit on command, he begins to understand that he needs to pay attention to the owner and follow instructions, which makes learning other commands much easier. The secret to teaching this is patience, repetition, and positive reinforcement, which is the best form of learning for dogs. To start, choose a moment when he is calm and interested in you. Grab a treat that he really likes and hold it very close to his nose, letting him smell it. Then, slowly move your hand upwards and backward, causing him to lift his head a little to follow the movement. Naturally, to maintain balance, he will sit. The exact moment his bottom touches the ground, say sit, in a firm and positive tone, and immediately give him the treat as a reward. Repeat this process several times so he starts associating the act of sitting with the word and the reward. If he doesn't sit right away, don't worry. Some dogs need more tries to understand, and the most important thing is not to force him. If he gets distracted, wait a bit and try again, always with patience and enthusiasm. Over time, try saying only the sit command without using the treat to guide him. If he obeys, reward him with praise and affection. This exercise should be repeated daily in short training sessions of 5 to 10 minutes so he doesn't get tired or bored. With patience and consistency, your Shih Tzu will quickly learn, and in no time, he will sit whenever you ask. This simple command creates a foundation for other lessons, helping to strengthen communication between you and making the puppy more obedient and balanced. The more he trains, the more he learns, and the routine will become easier and more enjoyable for both of you. The big secret: when you start training your Shih Tzu puppy, the big secret to success lies in patience and persistence. These two ingredients are essential for effective and enjoyable learning for both of you. The puppy is just beginning to understand the world, and he needs time to learn everything you're trying to teach him. If you're patient and persistent, the results will show, and the training process will be much easier and more enjoyable for both of you. Patience means giving your Shih Tzu the time to understand what you're asking. He won't learn everything all at once, and that's completely normal. Some days he may understand a command quickly, while other days he may seem more confused. It's important to remember that, just like a child, he will make mistakes and won't understand everything right away. If you get impatient or upset, it may make him anxious and hinder his learning. So, stay calm, speak in a calm tone, and don't lose your patience. He will learn at his own pace, and your positive attitude is key to him continuing to try. Persistence comes into play when you repeat the training sessions, even when it seems like nothing is working. The secret to dog training is constant repetition. If your puppy doesn't understand a command on the first day, don't give up. Repeat the exercise every day, in a fun and positive way. Every repetition helps the puppy learn and cement it in his memory. Even when he makes mistakes, keep trying. Over time, he will start to associate the word with the action and will become more and more obedient. Moreover, the most important thing is that, with patience and persistence, you will build a strong bond with your Shih Tzu. Training is not just about teaching commands, but also about strengthening the relationship between the two of you. When he realizes that you're there to help him learn in a loving and consistent way, he will trust you and learn more easily. So, always remember that patience and persistence are the keys to a well-trained puppy and a relationship full of love and respect between you two. Now that you know the big secret to training, which is patience and persistence, there are no more excuses for not teaching your Shih Tzu successfully. Remember that every step, no matter how small, is progress. Be firm, but always with lots of affection and respect, and your puppy will quickly learn what you want. The training journey is a daily build, and with the right methods, you'll see just how obedient, and of course much happier, your Shih Tzu can be. If you liked this video and want to keep learning more about how to raise a well-behaved and loving Shih Tzu, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about your training process and any challenges you've been facing. And if you have more tips or questions, don't hesitate to share. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click the subscribe button now and turn on the bell to get all the updates and tricks on how to train and care for your Shih Tzu. You won't want to miss the upcoming videos filled with amazing tips, will you? In the next video, we'll talk about how to correct the most common mistakes during your puppy's training, and you'll learn how to avoid the slip-ups that could delay progress. Stay tuned, because the content is unmissable. Thanks for watching, and remember, with patience, persistence, and lots of love, you and your Shih Tzu will be a true team. See you in the next video.